Hi there, Malcolm here with my 11th video for Wyrmberg Games, and today it's another unboxing, this time for the Dinosaur Island expansion, Totally Liquid. So we have a rulebook that rivals the one that came with the original game, the research board and the park board for a 5th player named Moria Labs Global. Purple and black cubes for the 5th player, 5 Tool Bench 2 upgrades, which when activated provides 2 pedicle security upgrades, purple counters, scientists, and extra currency and plus 10s and 20s to accommodate the 5th player, an extra refined DNA and create 1 dinosaur upgrades for the 5th player, an extra $6 space on the market to accommodate the 5th player, extra hooligans and visitors to accommodate the 5th player, extra DNA dice to accommodate the 5th player, and some featuring some sides we haven't seen before. An extra meeple for all 5 players. This one looks like he's carrying a walking stick. Extra dinosaurs, including a Parasaurolophus for the herbivore pile, a Dilophosaurus for the small carnivore pile, a Dimetrodon for the small carnivore pile, a Megalosaurus for the large carnivore pile, a Megalodon for the new marine creature pile, an Ichthyosaurus, an Elasmosaurus, a Mosasaurus, a Plesiosaurus, a Dunkleosteus, a Protosaurus, a Tylosaurus, and a Kronosaurus, and 4 blank tiles for creating your own dinosaur. A stack of enclosure counters for the marine animals, as before, double-sided, allowing 2, 3 or 4 creatures in each paddock. Animals, by the way, have a number 1, 2 or 3 on them, denoting which scientist you need to buy it. They also have the corresponding 1 would be herbivore, 2 is small carnivore, and 3 is large carnivore. Way they can match the rules from other parts of the game. Our Roger cards, including 9 new specialists, a capitalist, which basically means you can assign a worker to this card for $3. Be useful if you've built over the bank. Social media manager, that's putting you an extra worker, $1 and 1 VP if you draw 2 or more hooligans out the bag. Mixologist allows you to sell 2 basic DNA or 1 advanced DNA for $1. At any time, we suggest you can do it as many times as you like. Research scientist, extra worker, and whenever you procure a dino recipe, you also get 2 basic DNA or 1 advanced DNA of your choice. CEO, an extra worker, and at the end of the game, each ride in your park is worth an extra 2 VPs. Vice CEO, exactly the same as the previous one, except this is from the merch. Food stall CEO gets you 2 points for every food attraction. Cop gets you an extra worker, and round up 2 hooligans per turn. Point for every hooligan that's kept on this card at the end of the game. One coming in, but you get points for them at the end. If you lose, gets eaten by a dinosaur, you don't lose a VP, and you actually get paid $2. The first one you lose. Hell of a lawyer. 7 new plot twists, where for phase 5 you have a closed fist bidding to determine player order. You collect $2 if you pass research in phase 1. You score VPs for hooligans. You still don't get paid though. Or you get paid for hooligans, but you don't get VPs. All DNA storages are increased by 1 at the beginning of the game. In phase 2 you can spend 2 VPs to buy an extra item at the market. The starting turn order is the turn order for the rest of the game. There are 24 blueprint cards. These are shuffled and each player gets 1 at the beginning of the game. And essentially, on top of everything else, a player needs to try and build their island according to their specific blueprints, the success of which will determine extra bonus points. So you don't necessarily have to stick to these, but if you get all 13 spaces matched, that's 27 extra points. There are 8 large facility boards, featuring the meeple with a walking stick, who happens to be an executive, and the related executive cards. At the beginning of the game, and the number of facilities and executive cards are laid out matching the number of players, who then draft one or the other, and then the other one, so that each player has 1 of these and 1 of these. The executive cards tell you what your executive character can do. Each card is different. So we have the Chief Dino Officer, who acts as a level 3 scientist and increases your excitement level by 1 when you procure a dinosaur recipe with this executive. The Boss Hog acts as 2 workers on any lab tile upgrade, to be used for 1 double slot or 2 single slots. The Money Bags basically claims one of the items in the marketplace. Other players may buy it, but if they do, they pay you the money for it. And if you buy it, you get it with a $1 discount. The Security Chief can use the Tool Bench or the Tool Bench Mark II for free. The Corporate Spy, you can place him on an opponent's lab upgrade to use that ability, but you can't use your own. The Technical Advisor, he's a level 2 scientist and increases all basic or advanced cold storage DNA units by 1 when you use them to increase storage. And the Dino Breeder, basically get gets you a 1 DNA discount when making dinosaurs, if you use them to make dinosaurs. And Jack of both trades. Counts as a level 1 scientist during the lab phase and as a worker during the worker phase. So he's 2 extra actions. And they sit on top of the facilities, which are, basically this provides an overnight hotel for your visiting patrons. And once you've unlocked all the rooms, you can have up to 8 guests staying overnight, who you can then use in the following day without having to draw them out of the bag, risking getting hooligans. That's nice. It requires 2 workers and $3 to unlock each room. The Parks and Recs, which comes with extra seats tokens to unlock on the board, costs 4 each, and each one will allow 2 extra patrons to visit this attraction, which features a single Mega Rex token. It costs 2 of each of the advanced DNA, has an excitement level of 6, a point level of 12, and a threat level of 5, plus a unused DNA die rolled again to see what you add to that. And needless to say, you can only have the 1 dinosaur in this enclosure, but this is as well as what you have on the island. The Fantasy Island, which comes with a Fantasy Wild Tile, Fantasy Dino Ride, Fantasy T-shirts, and a Fantasy Wild Tile, which also comes with 3 optional headings to make it an attraction, to make it a T-shirt, a ride, or an eatery. And with this, you can claim 1 dinosaur recipe, which sits on here instead of the island. And then when you make a dinosaur, you can put one of these attractions plus the dinosaur you just made on the island, and it counts as both a dinosaur attraction and the attraction type of the tile as well. We have the Goat Pen, which comes with 9 goat tokens. This starts with 4 goats. You can buy more goats for $3 for 2 goats. And essentially you can then feed goats to the dinosaurs to decrease the threat level by 1 each time you do for that turn. You lose goats instead of people. Then there's the Petting Zoo, which comes with a whole pile of baby dino tokens. This comes with 2 paddocks that can be upgraded as usual. This allows you to build up to 8 baby dinosaurs in the 2 paddocks. Each one has an excitement level of 1, a score level of 0, but can hold up to 8 extra patrons. And each one only costs 1 basic DNA and 1 advanced DNA. The Dino Incubator, which comes with 7 egg tokens. And this one allows you to spend a little amount of DNA each turn. The 2 basic for herbivores for 2 turns, basic and an advanced for a small carnivore for 3 turns, basic and an advanced DNA for a small carnivore for 3 turns each, and 2 advanced DNA for a large carnivore for 4 turns apiece. You get multiple eggs on each track, and when completed you can then build that dinosaur provided you have the DNA recipe for it. You don't have to spend the DNA recipe, you've already done that. So that's quite a nifty, cheap way of getting extra dinosaurs. And there's Cretaceous Casino, which comes with Hooligan Havoc and DNA Dice Dash. That's double-sided for part 2. And this was a gambling to the game. The Dice Dash is a chance to roll for DNA and win it. And the Hooligan Havoc is to predict how many hooligans are going to come out of the bag, and you win the allotted money. And all players get to participate in this one. The benefit of the main player is they get paid in points or money for visitors. And finally, there's the Executives Archipelago. Basically, that means you get 3 executive cards, not 1. You put the 2 you're not currently using on the board, and you can swap out which one you want each turn at the beginning of the turn. So each turn you can play with 1 of the 3 executives at your disposal. And there are 14 PR event cards. At the beginning of the game, each player gets given 2 of these cards to keep secret throughout the game. And at the end of the game, each player will choose one of their 2 cards to put forward, and all players score according to the bonus points on the card. I'm not going to tell you more, but I'll give you a few examples. So this one gives you 6 points for each set of herbivore, small carnivore and large carnivore in the park. This one gets you 2 points for each food attraction in your park. This one scores you the next level up for the blueprint score, with a bonus of 10 points if you've completed your blueprint. And this one scores you 2 points for each worker that you have above the 4 starting workers. So, what a bunch of goodies that came in this box. Absolutely delighted with that. Very, very keen to play with it. You play Dinosaur Island? Think of it. You think of the prospect of having extra stuff to do in the game. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. As usual, if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you. Until next time, see you later.